Strong families provide a solid foundation for the optimal growth and development of children. This strengthened family is something that we at Consuelo Alger Foundation hope to provide to every home. As a private US-based foundation that works for children and their families in the Philippines and Hawaii, we aim to nurture family members with children through our Family Strengthening Program. Our founder and benefactress, the late Doña Consuelo Alger, recognized the need for family strengthening as it is vital in the prevention of abuse, neglect, and exploitation at home. She believed in renewing hope for those who have lost it and giving hope to those who never had it. As children are protected when they are part of a safe and nurturing family, our Family Strengthening Program seeks to empower families by enhancing the knowledge and skills of family members so that they are aware of their children's rights and can respect, protect, and fulfill them. Improving their access to basic services and programs through referrals and linkages. And enabling families to practice positive discipline, prevent and respond to abuse, neglect, and exploitation. We implement this together with our other programs and interventions to surround children with love, hope, and protection, and to develop responsible parents who always keep the best interests of their children in mind. Because when each family member is filled with acceptance, hope, and protection, they can promote their values with their neighborhood, community, and society. A family's strength can transcend beyond each home, building a better community and a better nation for us all.
Sa gitna ng bawat takot at paghihirap, sa kabila ng aking pagkukulang, katapatan mo, O Diyos, tanging laan sa puso at damdamin. Ika'y mananatili, walang hanggan ang alay mong pag-ibig. Natagpuan ang iyong pag-ibig na dakila. Doon sa krus ako'y iyong pinalaya. Jesus, ako'y aawit ng walang hanggang pagpupuri. Ang puso ko'y sa'yo iaalay.
Good morning, everyone! Kamusta po tayong lahat? So before we start, hayaan ninyong po munang ako'y magpakilala. I am Eric.
At ako naman po si Ren. Indeed, today is a very exciting day. Bukas palad po namin kayong tinatanggap sa ating kauna-unahang Family Strengthening Consortium na pinangungunahan ng Consuelo Foundation, wherein Eric and I will be your hosts. This is a very important event kung saan we will celebrate collaboration in implementing the Family Strengthening Program.
We're very happy to be with you as fellow family strengthening implementers, as this will be a great learning experience for us all. Kasama natin today ang ating mga FS partners tulad ng Bidlicio Foundation Incorporated, Condrado and Ladislao Alcantara Foundation Inc., Forge Incorporated, Haro Archdiocesan Pastoral Secretariat Iloilo, Our Lady of Sorrows Outreach Incorporated, Kidan Kaisahan, Negros Occidental Incorporated, Verlani Foundation Incorporated, Young Focus for Education and Development Foundation Incorporated, and representatives from LGU of Antique, Calauan, and CSWDO of Navotas, and Valenzuela City Child Protection Center and Child Development Workers Association, and LGU Malabon.
That's right, Eric. For the next 2 days, tayo ay makikinig sa iba't ibang Consuelo partners and staff that will share with us their innovation and best practices while implementing the Family Strengthening Program in their respective communities.
We will also share with you new and improved materials and tools that you can use in your respective program as well. So, ready na ba kayong lahat?
Okay, mukhang ready na sila, no? Let's start things off with Consuelo Foundation President and CEO, Mr. Greg Aubery, to formally open our consortium with his opening remarks.
Thank you, Ren and Eric, and good morning, everyone. I'm calling in today from Honolulu, Hawaii, where I'm based, and it's so nice to be with all of you today. First, I just want to give a thank you to all of our wonderful partners here today that were just listed. We learned so much from you. We're so grateful and humbled to work with you, and we're glad you're here at this event to share and learn together with us. I'd also like to thank our speakers from today and tomorrow, Jim, Alan, Leonore. Thank you so much for being here with us today and sharing your thoughts and ideas to help guide and inform our discussion. It's all great to be here. I am excited because this is the first Family Strengthening Consortium, and as a family of practitioners, we are here at the birth of the Family Strengthening Consortium, the first consortium. And it's a new way to look at things, and it provides a lot of hope and promise like any new birth. So I really encourage all of us over the day to take over the next 2 days to take advantage of this in our work. As you heard in the introductory video, Doña Consuelo was really wise and caring about families. And she knew that the key to prevention was to form stronger families. And if we had stronger families, then families could deal with this, and we would have stronger communities who would help each other out. And then we would begin to really look at ending child abuse and neglect. But, and we all have a piece of that and share that. But one thing I've been reflecting on a little bit as we start this is, and it's my favorite line, first line of a book. And I don't know if you've ever heard of the book Anna Karenina. It's a Russian novel by a famous Russian author called Tolstoy. And, the first line of that book, he says, all happy families are alike. Unhappy families are unhappy in their own way. And then he goes on for thousands of pages to talk about how each family is unique and families intertwine in their histories. And to me, that has always resonated with me, because I think part of our work together is really to see how we can make families happier, how we can make them stronger. And I think that's the preset or the pre-step for hope. And that's what we want to do, is really provide happiness and find families meet their needs and look at it. But the thing, as that line says, is that it presents challenges because each family is unique, and we have to meet them where they're at and really find ways to do it, and then roll that up as we do into a practice. So I really love the idea of this consortium. I'm hoping I can stay in and out over the next couple of days and learn with you, that we can really work together to fulfill Doña Consuelo's really challenge to us to provide hope to families in new and interesting ways. So thank you all very much for being here today. I'm really excited about it. And back to you, Ren and Eric.
Thank you very much, Sir Greg, for your message. Ngayon, papunta na po tayo sa exciting part. We'll now hear from Consuelo's current Family Strengthening Program partners, beginning with Mr. Jesse James Sevillano, Project Coordinator of Bidlicio Foundation. He will share with us how his organization is able to use the family strengthening in the healing and recovery of children in need of special protection. Let's all welcome Sir Jim with the heart emoji.
Thank you, Ren and Eric. Good morning, magandang umaga at maayong buntag sa akong mga kauban nga Bisaya. So I'm here today to share to you Bidlicio and our work with Consuelo for adopting family strengthening programs. So before I start, allow me to share about us, about Bidlicio. The Bidlicio Foundation is a social development agency for 30 years already. We are registered in Securities and Exchange Commission, duly licensed and accredited by DSWD, and also PCNC, the Philippine Council for NGO Certification, and all the LGUs where the foundation is operating. So currently, we are in operation in the cities of Cebu, Mandaue, Lapu-Lapu, in Iloilo City, and including Camotes Island. In the past, we have also worked with Bohol, Bantayan Island, and in Talisay City here in Cebu. So our vision is to improve quality of family and community life among Filipino children and their families. So our mission is also to help the most disadvantaged children and their families among the poor communities. And the goal is to provide access, opportunities, and hope for the most marginalized children, families, and communities. So our target groups um, are children and young people and their families who are in need of special protection. So currently, these are the following CNSPs that Bidlisio is catering. So we have children that are victims of online or offline sexual abuse and exploitation. So we have young people in prostitution, children in conflict with the law and their families, children using drugs and their families, uh, children survivors or those young people survivors of trafficking in persons and their families, and as well as other abused and exploited children. So these are currently our the CNSPs that we are catering. So Bidlisius programs and services includes the following. Well, these are the major programs and services that the foundation is undertaking right now. Number one is behavior change communication. We have child and family healing, recovery, and reintegration, the CFHRR. Sustaining educational pursuits of children in need of special protection. We also have enhancing self-wage employment opportunities and social mobilization and advocacy. So, beginning with behavior change communication, so this is a strategy conducted either one-on-one or in a group. So that aims to understand deeper the issues of our target population. It is interactive in a process where the target group provides information about his or her environment or activities. So this is being done in a form of outreach activities where one-on-one risk assessment and information sharing on basic messages are provided. So our guided group interaction is another activity under this strategy wherein set of questions are answered by a small group of participants based on their knowledge and experiences. So this area is the first phase of the foundation's work and becomes the basis for decision making if a particular clientele will be enrolled in the service of our program CFHRR. So under also our child and family healing, recovery and reintegration. So basically this is the flagship of the foundation. A framework of intervention that is developed by Bidlisio and enhanced throughout the years of implementation. So this is an innovative approach that caters both to the child in need of special protection and his or her family. The work of CNSP involves diagnostic assessment, psychoeducation sessions for 5 months using different methodologies geared towards strengthening the child's personal resources to recover and prevent abuse and exploitation. The second phase of this program runs for a minimum of 1 year, where the CNSP will start to implement his or her life and career plans. Under also CFHRR is our family development work. So during this time, psychoeducation sessions. We call it primary caregivers enhancement training, wherein our family strengthening sessions are also integrated. These are sessions on various topics that are given to the primary caregivers of the child to fulfill the role as parents. No, applications from these sessions are being monitored through home visitations conducted by the caseworkers of the foundation. So children who do not have biological parents are still enrolled under this framework of intervention, no? Because currently we are also exploring, or we are also familiarizing with the alternative care system. So sustaining educational pursuits of CNSP is another support service availed by our children enrolled in CFHRR. So this is not the usual, or this is not meant to be a scholarship program, but rather an augmentation support for educational needs of children to encourage back formal, non-formal school and prevent from dropping out. The support are mostly non-tuition based, except for those pursuing college education, but more on support for transportation, school supplies, school project uniform, and other emergency assistance. So referral for alternative care system is also part of this program. So our enhancing self-wage employment uh, opportunity. So this program provides various services to underprivileged families in the form of vocation training, job hunting, enhancement training, job readiness, access to company employment, generating and starting business ideas, support to business startups. So basically, during this time, this is where our reintegration services, our continuous support for our completers of CFHRR. That also includes their families. So during our social mobilization advocacy, this is also another work, based in the community, wherein our work with the community and local government aims to establish community-based child protection structures and mechanisms through formation and capacity development of three significant players in the community. Now, we have community watch groups, peer support groups, and strengthening and mentoring of our barangay-based institutions like Barangay Council for the Protection of Children and Barangay Anti-Drug Abuse Council, in the locality. So our CWG, by the way, are adults, some community leaders that are not involved or that are those not in the government. They are familiar with basic child protection um, steps. And also, they are our eyes and ears in the community. Our peer support groups, by the way, is also our a child-led organization wherein we also help them. We partner with them to become child protection advocates, in their community. So allow me just to integrate all of those services. So allow me to share also our uh, framework of intervention. So as you can notice, there are these phase one, phase two, and phase three. So this is where phase one we wanted to provide healing and recovery of our clientele. So you can also see that in the course of this work, we are partnering with children, the family, and the community. So That is first and foremost because we are a community-based implementing agency. We implement our interventions where our clientele is located. So in the blue color, the following row is our work for children. In the middle is our work with the family, and the lastly is our work for the community. So allow me to share also, because one of the highlights we are presenting to you today is to let you know of the how helpful it is, the family strengthening programs of Consuelo, that help our work with specifically with the families and the children. So we identified the role of the families in the healing and recovery of children with the following. So first and foremost, they are our partner. So we call the parents or the primary caregivers as our partners in implementing interventions for children through family-based action plans. So aside from our social workers, we involve parents in doing or in taking their family-based action plans. Second is they are primary individuals that we look as the first individuals to provide positive reinforcement and support to children while they are in the process and healing and recovery. So acceptance, support must begin within the family, and the parents play a very important role in achieving the healing and recovery. Okay, so they are also one of the enablers in sustaining the children's positive behavior change. So basically, we always hear it from our children that their observations about their family, the changes in their parents. So basically, this is very motivating, to be observed by the child who wants to who is committed towards some change or doing change in his or her own. So the impacts of the PSET program towards our work with the family. Number one is um, there are so many, but I have just highlighted these statements or these impacts. So basically, one of the very useful tool that we are constantly using is the Consuelo Flipchart. So the simplified contents, engaging methodologies and explanation in the child protection Flipchart contributed to the easy understanding of the participants, which led to the active participation, such that the participants are able to share personal experiences or of others. So I think if to other partner organizations, I'm also sure that you received also the flip charts of Consuelo. That's a very nice tool, a very good tool that we are using in our activities. Also, parents can now articulate on the rights of the child. They are aware and are familiar of the child protection laws. So these tools, yung sinabi kong mga modules and tools, flip charts, are very instrumental in facilitating learning, sa ating parents. Parents are also reflective of their negative parenting practices and develop conscious application of learning to improve management of their children. So basically, the awareness that they have or that they receive, lets them become reflective and also constantly becoming conscious, on how they apply their learning. As one of the topics in our PSET programs is gender sensitivity. So parents of LGBT children, no, they are able to accept and support their children for who they are and encourage other parents, for their to other encourage other parents to become allies, of their children for gender inclusion. So we have cited this one because in one of the programs we are very touched, no, when one parent stood up and basically share towards other parents that it is not enough that we do accept our LGBT children. No, it's very helpful also that we will become their allies. So we will be the first one to look after or to act as support, for in this development, and also improve the relationships of couples, resulted to improve intrafamilial relationships. So basically, this is what we really want to achieve in our family development work, to strengthen the relationships within the family. So these are also just to highlight some um, of the family strengthening modules that we have incorporated so far. Now, some topics from family strengthening are incorporated in our PSET, such as the following module on social and cultural influences on the individual and the family for our gender sensitivity activity. Okay, so emotional management skills, effective communication skills, conflict management skills, expressing of love and care are integrated to our husband and wife relationship enhancement. So basically, in our existing modules, this really help, the family strengthening programs that we are able to integrate in our PSET sessions. So this is the reason why we are proud to highlight, a while ago, some of the impacts of our family strengthening, our primary caregivers enhancement training. So secondly is the flip charts used during child protection sessions. So aside from our use it with parents, we are also using it under our behavior change communication services and our work in the community, because deniably that is a very good tool um, in the information sharing of child protection in the community or the areas where we operate. Okay, so allow me, to share the story of we call it the story of hope of Roger and Jocelyn. They are a couple attending sessions of Bidlisio Foundation, our primary caregivers enhancement training.
Mayong hapon sa inyong tanan. Ako din si Roger Ian Tikamara, amahan ni Janayba ng Tikamara, nagpuyo sa Pahak, Lapu-Lapu.
Ako si Jocelyn Soriano, ang mama ni John Aiba, nagpuyo sa Pahak, Lapu-Lapu City.
Kami magtiayon, isa sa mga participants sa PSET sessions na gisuportahan ni Consuelo Foundation.
Sa inyong pag-apil sa mga programa sa Bidlisio, sa unsang paagi kini nakapausab sa inyong pamilya?
Usa ka amahan, nausab ang akong pagdala sa akong mga anak kumanandagan kong nakatunan sa akong kaugalingon. So angay na giusab pa sa akong pagdasa kong mga anak.
Sa unsang paagi kini nakatabang sa inyong pagkaginikanan sa pagdumala sa inyong mga anak o sa inyong tibuok pamilya?
Sa pagsabot sa among mga sayop na ginikanan alang sa among mga anak na parte na dilita ng panahon amo aray ilang paminawon kay nanglan paminawon pud namo sila isip ginikanan
Nausab ang among
disiplina
disiplina sa di lang sa mga bata pati sa among mga kaugalingon na naghanday ming mga wala pa nahibali na sa foundation ng namo na hibalan ng mga sakto at pamaagi sa pagpadako pa sa bata.
Unsa inyong ikasugyot nga angay pangbuhaton o ihatag alang sa mga ginikanan sama ninyo?
maging responsableng ginikanan.
Ginikanan dapat meron talagang saktong seminar ma'am para mapadako nila ang ilang mga bata sa saktong pamaagi.
Okay, daghang salamat kaninyo.
Daghang salamat ma'am.
Okay, so that's it for thank you very much for the time, and allowing us to share our services and our work, with Consuelo Foundation. And we will, I think there's time later on that we can still interact. So again, daghang salamat ng kaninyong tanan.
Thank you so much, Sir Jim, as well as to Ate Jocelyn and Kuya Roger. I hope kayo po ay may natutunan so far sa sharing ni Kuya Jim. At kung paano nakatulong ang FS program sa mga children in need of special protection. Before we move forward, may we remind everyone na kung kayo po ay may mga katanungan or takeaways, kindly put it in our chat box and i-address natin yan later during our open forum. So ngayon, pakinggan naman po natin ang sharing ni Miss Leonor Mendoza Loor, the officer in charge of Our Lady of Sorrows Outreach Foundation. Through her sharing, we will learn how spiritual formation plays a very important role in strengthening families. Sabay-sabay natin siyang bigyan ng heart reaction.
Good morning, everyone. Naririnig po ba ako? Hello. The Our Lady of Sorrows Outreach Foundation is located. Asan? Is located dito po sa FB Harrison, Pasay City. So, All Sophie is now in its 35 years dito po sa locality ng Pasay na nagsuserve sa ating mga target beneficiaries. So, since na ang All Sophie ay nagkaroon ng pagsasagawa ng environmental scanning at lumabas nga po yung different problems na nag-exist po within the parish. So, All Sophie is existing only in 28 barangays in our locality. So the vision of All Sophie is the God-centered community where every family has access to basic social services. The children may enjoy the rights and share equal opportunities in realizing dreams as responsible, productive, and God-fearing members of the community, where every child is loved, cared, and protected by responsible adults. Our mission is to commit ourselves to work for the improvement of the quality of life and the attainment of total human development among members and partner communities, groups, families, and individuals within the parish. Our main goal is to provide target beneficiaries with opportunities and has access to basic social services through education, health and nutrition, skills training and livelihood, Ministry and Strengthening Program. We provide also protection to children from neglect, abuse, exploitation, to give opportunities for their development, to build a Christian community where families and individuals attain full physical, emotional, and social spiritual growth. Ayan. So, of course, yung mga to attain those vision and mission and goals, ang aming pag-target beneficiaries ay ang mga vulnerable families, youth and children, disadvantaged women, senior citizens, and PWD. So we created different and various programs and services like number one, yung Youth Protection and Development Program. Under this program, we give importance to the education, the one of the rights of the children, yung education. So we give a scholarship from elementary to college. So our social workers are having their case management para to check their progress on their education and educational needs. We provide school supplies, school uniforms, and this new platform, the load allowance and school allowances. We also give tutorial and remedial class to those having a low grades from their school. So in this program also, dito po na yung values and spiritual formation. So part ng malaking programa po iyan under ng Youth and Protection. Yung dito po pinapasok yung ating Right Pulse program. So number 2, yung health and nutrition program, wherein we provide feeding and supplemental feeding for undernourished children, the indigency clinic where provide community indigency and community medical mission to our communities. We provide medicines. We have volunteer doctors and dentists to do the work together with our frontliners and barangay health workers. We also, in this program, the hospitalization of mga special cases like deformities, children with deformities. So we provide financial assistance for their like medicines and other laboratory tests. Number 3 program po ay yung community skills training and livelihood program. We like other foundations, so we collaboration with other agencies to give business management opportunities program for the beneficiaries. So we provide trainings like sewing, massage therapy, the culinary, and housekeeping. So we sometimes we seasonal also attend some bazaars from other partner banks and foundation also. At ang last pong program, yung Family Life and Evangelical Program, which is ito po papasok yung Family Strengthening and Family Strengthening Program po with Consuelo. So, ito pong program na ito ay binibigyang diin yung kalagayan ng bawat family dito sa ating parokya. We believe that the basic unit ng ating society talaga is a family, wherein doon hinuhubog yung ating pagmo-mold po ng values and spiritual formation po sa ating mga kabataan. So napakalaking impact ang itong programa na ito ay binibigyan tugon yung kalagayan ng bawat pamilya kaugnay ng ating vision na maging God-centered sila sa lahat ng mga services po na sinasagawa po ng ating parokya at ng ating foundation sa pagkakandak po ng mga sessions on family life. So pinag-iigting po yung deeply rooted faith nila na may malalim na pananampalataya sa lahat ng mga services na nakukuha ng ating mga kabataan at ng ating family. Of course, ang ating pong iniaambag ng ating program ay hindi lang material na bagay yung kanilang napapahalagahan, kundi yung deeply understanding on faith na si Lord yung kumikilos sa kanila upang ito ay may sagawa at makarating yung tulong sa kanila. So the value of appreciation of the help and support na binibigay po ng foundation through this program ay mas nakikita po namin yung paano maibigay yung kahalagahan ng importance ng faith and values na itinuturo po ng ating foundation sa kanila. Through the help po ng ating mga parish priest na katuwang natin dito sa paghubog ng values and spiritual nila. So, ang ating pong mga family ay yung mga selected na napiling mga family po na dito sa program na ito ay ini-introduce also yung kahalagahan ng mga sacraments. Like sacraments of baptism na kailangan yung lahat ng iaanak na because of yung mga ipapanganak ay nabibigyan ng tamang pagbibinyag. So lahat po ng aming beneficiary ay we check also nung mga ganong sacraments na sila ay nabinyagan, sila ay nakumpilan, sila ay dadaan sa proseso ng First Communion. So ang lahat po ng mga mag-aasawa na ay kung kino-correct yung lifestyle nila with regards to relationship, like kailangan sila ay yung proseso ng pagpapahalaga sa marriage ay kanilang nakikita. So kung ito man ay hindi pa huli para sa kanila because we support that sacraments to be given. So yun po yung gawain ng Family Life Strengthening Program. So aside po doon, yung pagtugon na po sa relationship, kung paano nagva-value yung relationship between doon sa kanilang samahan sa buong pamilya. So ito po yung mga importance ng spiritual formation, tulad po na naumpisahan ko, nagkakaroon po talaga sila ng deeply rooted understanding and relationship with God. So nadadama po namin yon sa mga advocacy na pag uma-attend or sila ay uma-attend ng mga sessions po natin, nakikita po natin yung paano sila mangusap, paano nila yung kanilang pananalita towards development po with them. So may yung impact po nitong program na ito ay talagang makikita natin sa kabuuan po ng kanilang pakikipag sa kanilang relationship within the families. Ito pong mga yung impact of Family Strengthening Program ay siyempre yung bonding ay makikita po natin sa pamumuhay ng bawat isang family na belong to this organization. So we immediately we understand yung importance ng times na nagpapasalamat sila sa mga gratitude and opportunities na dumadating po sa kanila. So ito po yung mga nakakatulong sa pagsasagawa po ng ating mga advocacy na ito sa palakasin yung families na family strengthening ay yung mga binibigay po na materials, tools and materials ng Consuelo Foundation na naging mas specific siya. Naging specific sa pagtalakay ng mga problema tungkol sa bata, tungkol sa family. So malaking halaga ito sa sa mga implementers katulad namin para may sagawa ng directly, accordingly, yung mga activities na mas malalim, yung mas tukoy doon sa ating mga children and families. Naging specific yung mga topic na binibigay po namin sa kanila. Here are some ipapakita po namin some testimonies na amin pong from our beneficiaries para sa inyo po makita nyo yung mga kahalagahan ng mga yung impact ng mga natutunan nila dito sa ating Family Strengthening Program.
Buhay po mga kaibigan at mga kapwa ko volunteer. Ako po si Marlene Osil ng Barangay 4, Zone 2. Ako po ay matagal na volunteer ng Consuelo Foundation. Marami pong nabago sa aking buhay simula po nung naging volunteer ako sa aming simbahan. Simula po nung time na yon, napasama na po ako sa pagbo-volunteer sa simbahan, sa pagsiserve sa simbahan, at higit sa lahat, sa pagsiserve po sa aming mga barangay. Sa kalaunan po ay natuto na ako ng iba't ibang pamamaraan kung paano aayusin ang buhay ko at buhay ng mga anak ko. Nagkaroon po ako ng apo na nag-i-scholar ng foundation. At yung mga anak ko din po ay napapasama na sa pagsisimba namin. Nagkaroon po kami ng maayos na buhay dahil po sa Consuelo Foundation. Magandang pangangaral at patnubay sa mga anak. Ganon din po ang ginawa nila sa mga apo ko. Kaya nagkaroon din po ng maayos na buhay ang aking mga apo ngayon. Lahat po sila ay nakakapag-aral. Kaya labis-labis po ako nagpapasalamat sa tulong na ibinigay ng Consuelo Foundation.
Hello po, ako si Kimberly Ann Capapas. Ako ay naging scholar ng Consuelo simula nung ako ay grade 4 hanggang ngayon na ako ay malapit ng graduate sa college. At simula noon, ang buhay ko ay mas naging makahulugan sa paggawa ng mabuti na naaayon sa kagustuhan ng Diyos. Naging masigla ang aking pakiramdam dahil nakikita ko na unti-unting nagbabago ang pananaw ng aking mga magulang sa buhay at mas lalo ring lumalim ang respeto namin sa isa't isa at mas naging matibay ang aming bonding kahit na kapos sa pera. Kaya nagpapasalamat ako sa All Sophie Family Calls dahil sa patuloy nilang pagbibigay ng pansin sa kalagayan ng bawat pamilya at pagnanais nila na pagbuklurin ito at pagbibigay ng bagong pag-asa. Ang aking sarili ay handa na ring maglingkod upang patuloy na lumago ang kaisipan at puso ng mga kabataan sa parokya. Muli, maraming salamat sa Consuelo Foundation at All Sophie sa patuloy na pagsagawa ng mga gawaing nakahubog sa pagkatao namin at nanaayon sa purpose natin dito sa mundo na iniatas ng mahal na Panginoon.
Ayan. So, yun po yung ilan sa mga testimonies natin. At of course, nagpapasalamat kami sa Consuelo, sa Consuelo Foundation for these tools na ginagamit po natin. The Caritas Manila na siya po yung naging unang partner at umbrella ng ating foundation sa pagbabahagi ng ganitong program sa mga parokya. Of course, yung ating bagong partner na same mission, vision, ang Salvatorian Pastoral Care for Children na bumaba na rin po at nag-collab na rin po sa All Sophie for Strengthening Program. Also, of course, yung ating pong mission, the Pontifical Mission Society ng ating pong Holy Childhood sa Rome. So, all of those partner and collaboration with All Sophie ay ito po ang kalakasan, ang lakas at ang strength po ng All Sophie for this program ng Strengthening Family. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you, Miss Noor, for your sharing. It was also great to hear the testimonials of one of your FS parent and scholars. So before proceeding, let's liven things up with a trivia game. So ang instruction ng ating game is paunahan makatype ng tamang sagot sa chat box after ng go. Okay, the Consuelo team will consolidate kung sino ang ating winners and we will announce this at the end of the program. So, ready na po ba kayo? Yan. Yes, okay, let's go for question number 1. So this is what we call the basic social unit of the society. Go! So I think na-mention to kanina ni Miss Noor dun sa kanyang talk. Di ba? So, and I'm sure lahat tayo familiar. Ano ba yung basic unit natin? At dahil expert na po tayong lahat, alam na natin ang sagot dito. Tama ba yon, Ren?
Yes, at ang tamang sagot ay family. Sige po, let's go to our next question. Ito, nabanggit din to kanina, paulit-ulit. What does CNSP stands for? Go! Ayan, so syempre, no, i-define natin ulit siya, no. Ito ay galing, no, kay Sir Jim, diniscuss niya to kanina. Yung CNSP. Ito ay isa sa mga tinutulungan nila, no, na kasama ang Consuelo Foundation. Sige, mukhang wala pa, no? Nahihirapan ata sila. Bigyan pa natin ng time. Ayan, Sir Eric, ano po ang sagot?
Okay, ang tamang sagot ay children in need of special protection. Diba? So napakadali. Kayang-kaya naman pala. Sige, let's go for question number 3. So Bidlisio Foundation is from Cebu City. Now, the question is, in what region is Cebu located? Go!
Naku, asan kaya ito?
So, ano ba ang masarap
balikan
na
ng
pagkain sa Cebu?
history.
Oo nga, balikan ng history. Diba? Sino
Ayan.
ba ang bayani natin
Nagtatype
na
pa
taga
sila.
Cebu? Ano bang meron sa Cebu?
Lapu-lapu. Ayan, at ang tamang sagot ay Region 7 or Central Visayas. Okay, for our question number 4, no? Ito po ay type lamang kung true or false. Evangelical program is one of the program and services of Our Lady of Sorrows Outreach Foundation. Go! Ayan, so sige po, no? True or false lang po ang sagot. Pinakaunang makatype. At ang tamang sagot po, Sir Eric?
Ang tamang sagot ay true. Okay, galing. So let's proceed to our last question. Okay, what is the full name of the founder of Consuelo Foundation? Go! Yan po. I'm sure alam na alam po nating lahat yan. At kailangan po natin maalala dahil sa mga susunod po na ating mga activity, lalabas po siya ng paulit-ulit. So ngayon pa lang, kabisaduhin na po natin. Okay, dapat alam na po natin. So tama rin, no?
Ayan. Sige, i-reveal na natin ang sagot sa ating last question. Walang iba po, no? Kundi si Consuelo Zobel Alger o tinatawag nga nating Lola Consuelo. So, congratulations po sa ating mga winners. Ayan, uulitin ko lamang po yung sinabi ni Eric, no? Ang pangalan po ng mga nanalo ay babanggitin natin mamaya bago po matapos ang ating programa. Kaya stay tuned lamang po tayong lahat. Ngayon naman, i-welcome natin ang ating third speaker na si Mr. Alan Ewag, Assistant Executive Director of Kidan Kaisahan Incorporated. He will share with us on how they use the family intervention to address child labor in their communities. Bigyan naman natin siya ng tada reaction via Zoom.
So, magandang umaga sa lahat. Today, I would like to share the Family Strengthening Program ng Kidan Kaisahan. At yung i-share ko ngayon, yung family intervention program namin against child labor. Ito po is a one-year program in partnership with Consuelo Foundation. But before I go to my presentation, I would like first to introduce to you our organization. So our organization is Kidan Kaisahan. It is a non-stock non-profit organization based in the province of Negros Occidental. We were founded in 1996 with a group of professionals coming from the Department of Agrarian Reform. So today, this year, we are going to have our 26 years na in giving service to the community. Kami ata yung pinakabata sa dalawa. So Kidan was registered in the Securities and Exchange Commission on January 26, 1997. So why Kidan? Supposedly this is not Kidan. Supposedly this is Quidam. It is a Latin word meaning the nameless or faceless ones. Sila po yung mga vulnerable families na andon sa mga far-flung areas na walang voice to represent in the local structure of the government. And Kaisahan meaning solidarity. So we are the solidarity of the nameless ones. Kidan works in solidarity with the poor communities and implements a community-based child protection program that aims to fulfill the rights of children, particularly to education and protection from different kind of abuses, neglect, and exploitation. Kidan also helps secure the children's access to education and develop their families' capacities for child protection. Kidan, with the community partners, also institutionalized child-centered programs, procedures, and structures that address the root causes of child labor and ensure that abused children receive the support they need. Kidan is also an active partner of the two national network, the Break the Silence Network and the Education Network, or the ENET. Our program, our core program, is of course the Child Education and Protection Program. Our main target for this program is the vulnerable children living in the far-flung areas. So in this program, we partner with the Department of Education in the implementation of alternative learning system. We train the community-based instructional managers to establish the learning centers in the far-flung areas where children have no access to education. We also provided school supplies, trainings to the instructional managers in order for them to serve those children in the far-flung areas. In this program also, we partner with the Department of Education in the implementation of dropout reduction program, considering that mostly of the student na nagda-drop out ay yung mga child laborer. So sa programa nito, yung dropout reduction program, tinitrain yung mga teachers not only to focus on the fixed analysis to identify the weakness of the children, but also to understand kung saan galing yung bata, anong family yung pinanggalingan niya, so that maintindihan ng teacher kung bakit yung bata ay hindi makapag-aaral ng maayos, hindi makapagpunta ng school every day, so tinuturuan yung mga teachers. In this program also, we developed the pupil tutor na sila mismo yung nagtuturo sa mga kaklase nila na mga slow learners. Also, with the family, we also developed the family tutors so that yung mga bata na may kakulangan sa pag-answers ng kanilang mga assignment ay makapunta sa mga family tutors. Also with this program, we do awareness raising in the community to protect children. So, yung sa programa na to, maraming ginagawa ng mga awareness raising activities para yung mga bata ay ma-prevent na i-abuse. So, kung na-abuse na, dapat yung mga pagpang-abuso na yun ay hindi na mauulit. Also, with this program, in partnership with the local government unit, we established the Child Action Center, or tinatawag nila na one-stop shop. Dito dinadala yung mga bata na inaabuso. Like for example, kung bata ay inaabuso, noong unang panahon, dadalhin yung bata sa DSWD para interview ng social worker. After that, dadalhin naman yung bata doon sa WCPD para interview ng police. Pag wala pa yung police doon, uuwi mo na yung bata, tapos babalik the following day. Babalik mo naman. Tapos, yung doctor, dadalhin mo naman sa health center. So yung bata na naabuso na, it added the trauma sa bata na dinadala mo siya at in-expose sa lahat ng tao. So yung ginagawa ng one-stop shop, yung bata na nakaranas ng pang-abuso ay dinadala dito. Tapos yung mga frontliner services ay dito na pumupunta. DSWD, WCPD, at saka yung doctor. It need yung physical examination. So yung bata, dito na lang magsistay until na matapos yung proseso na ginagawa. In case na wala yung isa, like for example yung WCPD wala, yung Child Action Center ay may tulugan din na pwedeng mag-cater ng mga bata at saka ng mga family nila na for the meantime doon sila during this process, no? So ito yung Child Education and Protection Program namin. Pangalawa, yung program namin, ito yung support program, yung Community Empowerment and Good Governance. Itong program na to, siya yung nakapacitate ng mga local government unit, the NCPC, the BCPC, to be open sa participation ng mga vulnerable sector. Sa programa din to, nag-organize tayo ng mga parating support group, ng mga children's group, so that sila magkakaroon ng voices sa mga local government structures natin. So, makapag-participate sila sa kung anumang desisyon na pwedeng gawin ng mga LGU. So yung ginagawa, parang bibingka approach siya, kinakapacitate mo yung LGU, at the same time, kinakapacitate mo yung mga vulnerable sector para mag-participate sa decision-making processes. Tapos kinakapacitate mo rin yung LGU para maging open sa participation ng mga vulnerable sector. Tapos, yung pangatlong programa namin, ito yung Sustainable Livelihood. Dito, nagkakandak ng mga trainings program for livelihood. So like for example, yung mga nanay, kadalasan kasi sa mga nanay dito, pag wala ng trabaho sa asyenda, so wala na silang ginagawa. So yung ginagawa ng program nito, train yung mga nanay na kung ano yung mga local resources na mayroon sila, so dina-develop into product. Or kung minsan, tinuturuan din sila ng mga skills na pwede nilang magamit. In this program also, we develop at nag-train sa mga bata na 15 years old above ng mga skills na pwede nilang ikabubuhay. So kung gusto nilang lumuwas sa ibang bayan. Like for example, tinuturuan sila ng mga pastries and bread making, just in case na makapunta sila sa ibang bayan. So may mga skills sila na dala-dala na pwede nilang gamitin sa pag-apply ng mga trabaho. So ito yung tatlong programa namin. Yung una, yung pinaka-core program namin, yung Child Education and Protection Program. Pangalawa, yung Community Empowerment and Governance. Tapos yung pangatlo, ito yung Sustainable Livelihood. Yung mga project areas naman sa ngayon, dito lang po kami sa Negros Occidental. So may 8 areas kami, 2 cities at 6 na municipalities. Yung nakapula, yung Morsia at saka si Palay, dito nag-implement yung mga project in partnership with the Consuelo Foundation. Sa Morsia, dito kami nag-implement ng family strengthening programs namin sa 5 barangay. And for si Palay, dito rin kami nag-implement ng LS Plus program namin sa 5 barangay. In all of these areas, Kidan has field offices manned by trained staff and child protection specialists. So, if you know more about us, pwede nyo bisitahin yung Facebook account namin, yung Kidan Kaisahan. Pwede rin sa website, yung kidankaisahan.org. At kung sakali makapunta kayo ng Bacolod, andito lang po kami sa Barangay Estefania, Bacolod City. So, bakit child labor? Ano ba yung sitwasyon ng child labors dito sa Negros? Masasabi natin that the Philippines has a long history of legislation and protects the right and welfare of the children. But sa mga rural areas of Negros Occidental, this legislation could not be felt or seen. No? Hindi siya makikita doon sa mga far-flung areas. Negros Occidental continues to be among the provinces with the highest incidence of worst form of child labor because Negros is the sugar-based monocrop economy. Sugarcane plantation remain to be the single most common employment for children. Pag makapunta ka ng Negros, nandiyan ka pa lang sa aeroplano, makikita mo lahat tubuhan sa ilalim. Children are not only exposed to numerous hazards during sa trabaho nila, such as chemical, sharp tools, and strenuous labor. Their schooling is also disrupted. No? Kasi during the peak season, children have to work in the field for at least 6 hours. So sa peak season ng milling ng tubo, kadalasan yung mga bata, instead na papasok ng 5 days a week, kadalasan 2 to 3 days lang kasi nagtatrabaho sa tubuhan. Others join work gangs, so migrate to other towns. So kung minsan, yung mga bata, pag wala ng trabaho sa towns nila, pumupunta sila sa ibang towns para magtrabaho. So in this case, maraming bata ang nag-express ng frustration at hopelessness. From the QQ survey of 3 municipalities, among 25,987 children surveyed, about 40% of the children are economically active. So nagtatrabaho talaga. Yung mga bata pa, 8 years old, 12 years old na hindi nagtatrabaho sa tubuhan, kung minsan sila naman yung nagbabantay ng mga nakakabatang kapatid nila. No? So 35% have already dropped out from school. That's why we have the alternative learning program and the dropout reduction program. Although 65% are still able to attend school, 30% are already working and at risk of dropping out. So may posibilidad na ma-drop out talaga sila. That's why that we have the Family Strengthening Program supported by Consuelo Foundation in partnership with the municipality of Morsha and Kidan Kaisan. Because we believe that the family is the very foundation to protect children. So the goal of the project is to children and families are safe and free from abuse, neglect, and exploitation. So within 1 year, we targeted the 65 families, and within 1 year, at least 70% of the school-age children are attending school, or as parents practice positive discipline, and at least 20% of child laborers from the assisted families are withdrawn from their hazardous employment. Therefore, with the LGUs and families, we gathered and analyzed family and child data. So dito kami, unang ginagawa namin, nagkakandak talaga ng child vulnerability survey. So meron kaming forms na ginagamit to identify the risk factor affecting the family. In this case of the 65 families na na-survey namin, lumalabas na there are 116 children. At saka yung primary risk na masyadong malaki, yung child labor talaga. So ito yung primary risk na nag-affect sa bata. Tapos, kung minsan, yung mga abandoned children, ito yung primary risk, pero secondary risk, child labor din. So, rampant yung child labor during the survey na makikita sa assisted children. We also have to raise the community awareness. So, ginagawa, nagde-develop ng family support volunteers. Ito yung mga family support volunteers, sila yung mga volunteers na ina-identify ng barangay. So what we did, we trained these family community volunteers. We do the facilitators training, we do the community organizing training, so that those family support volunteers will be able to help the vulnerable families target for the project. Sila yung nagkakandak ng mga awareness raising activities. In this case, kahit na may pandemic, kasi yung mga family volunteers ay nandyan lang naman sa mga barangays nila. So they can go still for the awareness raising and a small group. Ginagamit din namin, pasalamat kami sa Consuelo Foundation, na sa pagbigay ng flipchart. Kasi yung flipchart talaga ginagamit during the awareness raising sa mga small groups. We also developed the capacities of children and families to effectively engage with the LGU. Sabi na nga kanina, na yung mga vulnerable families at children ay dinidevelop para mag-engage sa mga LGU. So nag-organize tayo ng mga parent support group, na ito yung parent support group na to, sila yung grupo ng mga nanay na may mga bata sa iba't ibang risk factor. Sa parent support group na to, nag-conduct din sila ng regular meeting nila. Tapos yung mga intervention para mawala yung mga risk factor affecting sa mga bata nila ay dito nagaganap during the meeting. No? Yung mga bata, ino-organize din para yung mga awareness raising activities doon ginagawa. So why we organize parenting support group and children? So that this group will be able to participate in the local structures of the LGU, so that they can involve in the process such as planning, budgeting, monitoring, and other decision-making processes. Yung maganda pa, pag na-organize sila, naka-identify sila ng mga sitwasyon nila, na-identify nila kung ano yung mga solusyon, pwede nila ilabi sa LGU to fund those priorities, activities and programs nila. No? So we also provided the startup capital with the help of the Consuelo Foundation para ma-augment yung meager income ng mga vulnerable families para na instead na yung bata magtatrabaho, pag may alternative source of income na sila, medyo mabawas-bawasan or mawada yung pagtatrabaho ng bata. We also developed the capacities of the LGUs. Like for example, we reconvened and expanded and trained LCPC, yung mga barangay council for the protection of children, yung municipal council for the protection of children. Yung ginagawa talaga is to expand the membership nila, no? Nakasali doon yung mga vulnerable families at saka yung mga vulnerable children. Dito rin nagaganap during the organization of the BCPC na lumalabas na talagang mag-organize sila ng parang child protection network nila. Ito yung ginagawa na parang community watch na yung child protection network na to, siya na yung magbabantay sa mga vulnerable children at saka kung may mga pang-abuso na nangyari sa mga bata, ay sila na mismo yung nagre-report. No? So, included child protection plans sa mga local development plan nila at sa annual investment plan. So we also help LGU to build the capacity in the law enforcement local legislation. With the DLG, nagtatapo kami to train how to make ordinances, how to make laws to protect children. No? We also do the unification of services at nakagawa po ng local na case management protocol para sa mga abused children. So we also facilitated the child protection planning and budgeting. Ito din yung sinasabi namin na yung child protection planning and budgeting is came from the parenting support group, from the children's group, from the vulnerable families, at saka inaakyat po yan sa local government unit. To further strengthen the protection of the children, we also help to create venues for dialogues and cooperation. So ginagawa yung mga village assembly, dialogue of the employers na dapat yung mga employers malaman nila na hindi dapat tatanggap ng mga bata na magtatrabaho sa kanilang mga tubuhan. We also do coordination and referral system with the line agencies pag may bata na naabuso. So we also established the child monitoring system. So yung ginagawa, yung mga family support volunteer na in-identify ng barangay ay nagkakandak talaga ng house-to-house visit, no? Sa mga assisted families. So ito yung ginagawa nila. Tinitingnan kung ano na sitwasyon ng pamilya, kinakausap yung parents, kinakausap yung bata. It is a regular basis na ginagawa. In the barangay, we also established with the help of the Barangay Council for the Protection of Children, the youth map. Sa youth map, dito makikita yung mga ilang bata sa bawat purok, ano yung mga risk factor ng mga bata na andon, ano yung schooling status ng bata. Kung minsan, pag nandyan yung mga BSW, BNS, yung mga nutritional status ang nakikita din doon. No? So we also established the vulnerability tracker. Yung vulnerability tracker na to, ano yung risk na nag-affect sa bata, ano supposedly yung intervention plan na gagawin to address the risk, at tapos ano na yung update sa bata na yon, natanggal ba yung risk or ano. So yun yung ginagawa sa child monitoring system. With the help of Consuelo, we also conducted the survey on protective factor monitoring. So doon namin nakikita na most of the parents, almost 90%, ay nagpo-protect na sa mga bata nila in form of abuse at harm. No? So yung ano lang, yung medyo problema lang namin dito sa monitoring kasi hindi kami nakapag-conduct ng monitoring prior to the implementation project. So yung ginawa namin na monitoring ay at the end of the project na. So yun yung nakikita namin. Pero sa ngayon, at the very start of the project, ginagawa namin yung monitoring tool na to coming from Consuelo as a baseline, tapos kinakandak na siya namin regularly to see the improvement considering the intervention given. So as a result, 5 BCPC po na strengthen and formulated intervention plans sa mga vulnerable children which include anti-child labor programs based on the vulnerability survey. So may 5 BCPC po na strengthen. So yung 5 BCPC na to, naka-include na ng plans ng mga bata sa kanilang annual investment plan. So as a result, 3 BCPC po ang nag-allocate ng fund to support the livelihood project for vulnerable families. 5 BCPC assisted in the conduct of the awareness raising activities sa mga poroks. 2 LGU included the 10 malnourished children and child nutrition program. LGU supported the reproduction and distribution of modules for the assisted children. Kasi yung mga assisted children natin kung minsan madalayo sila sa school. So yung ginagawa ng school ay may drop-off center lang na inilagay kahit na doon sa barangay hall. Pero kung minsan yung mga bata mismo ay hindi kukunin yung mga modules na yun. So what the LGU did, sila na mismo yung naghatid ng mga modules na yun sa mga assisted children natin. Of the total, supposedly the target children is only 100, but during the survey, yung lumalabas 116 children of the 65 families are identified and given specific intervention. So during the mga PSG meeting, dun ginagawa yung mga intervention. Like for example, yung child labor. So nagkakandak ng awareness raising on the child's rights, awareness raising on the anti-CN. Para yung risk na yon na nag-affect sa bata ay unti-unting kuha, no? So yung lahat ng intervention na ginagawa namin to address this risk during the PSG meeting, no? So as a result, 53 of the 73 child laborers have withdrawn from hazardous employment. Also, the 20 child laborers na naiwan have reduced number of days from 6 days per week to 3 to 4 days per week na lang. So unti-unti nakukuha na sila sa child labor and hopefully 100% na sa mga target na mga bata namin ay mag-withdraw from child labor. 96 of the 116 of the assisted children continued schooling. So yung target namin 70% lang. Pero dahil sa pagkandak ng mga awareness raising activities, sa mga intervention plan sa families, 96 sa kanila yung nagko-continue ng schooling. So we also developed the 10 community-based family support volunteers. Yun yung sabi ko kanina, yung mga family volunteers na to, sila yung tumutulong sa KIDAN to conduct the child vulnerability profiling and assessment, organize the 10 parenting support group. The parenting support group serve as the support system that reinforce the parent positive and protective child rearing. So dito na sila nag-uusap-usap. So we also conducted community-based training for target families and children. So like for example, anti-CL, child's rights, at iba pang mga modules na ginagamit namin. Namin talaga yung Flipchart to do the intervention coming from Consuelo. So we conducted house-to-house monitoring, yung mga community-based family support volunteers. Tapos sila rin yung nagtatrack, nagre-report ng mga status ng assisted children and families during the PSG meeting or during the BCPC meeting. So 116 children developed their positive skills. So 70% of the assisted children could explain kung ano yung rights nila. 82% could distinguish from the unsafe tasks and could explain what to do in case of abuse. So 80% could identify social support system and where to report or seek help in case of threat or abuse. So ito yung mga awareness raising activities na ginagawa sa mga bata to prevent abuse. So 65 vulnerable parents supported and developed their positive child rearing skills. So the parents of 116 already practice positive discipline. 65 assisted families developed their livelihood. 61 of 65 assisted families enrolled in microinsurance. May partner kami ng microinsurance kasi yung mga vulnerable families, walang SSS yan, walang PhilHealth, so ine-enroll sila sa microinsurance. Mandala session is also conducted as part of the FS modules to strengthen relationship within the family. So during the Mandala, lahat ng pamilya na family member ay andon. Tapos sila yung nagdi-dream kung ano ang gusto nila makakita within the family for within 5 years. Tapos anong culture ba at environment within the family yung gusto nila. So sila yung nagpaplano. So we also localize anti-child labor and anti-child protection laws. Like for example, the barangay formulate an ordinance prohibiting child labor, also in the Unified Case Management Protocol. Just in case may mga pagpang-abuso sa bata, malalaman na nila kung ano yung gagawin at saan pupunta. We also establish child monitoring system. So yung sabi na kanina, yung regular house-to-house, yung vulnerability tracking, at pag-conduct ng monitoring tool. As a result pala ng monitoring tool namin, so na-strengthen yung family relationship through improved communication na makita sa tool na ginagamit namin. So 85% talk about their problem and listen to each other, na noon yung mga bata ay hindi na pinapakinggan. So 82% pull together and solve the problem. 80% establish support system. About 85% of parents have necessary parenting skills na. And 95% of parents are protected by their children. So ito yung nagagawa ng tool na ginagamit namin from Consuelo Foundation. So before I end my presentation, we would like to share to you the testimonial of Miss Janet Esther. She is the partner of the program Living in Barangay Cancilayan, Morsha, Negros Occidental.
Ako si Janet Esther, asawa, iloy isang 4 kakabataan. Ang duwa ko kabata, nagabulig o brasa akon sa campus. Tungod sigado, may time din na nga gani nga upod ko sila kay wala may nagabantay. Kun may time nga duwa ka sa isa kadlaw kaduwa na lang kami magkaon. Kami ga obra dire sa barangay Cancilayan. Ang klase sang obra namon pakyaw kisa inadlaw nagasweldo kami to 50 ang adlaw. Ginabatuan lang na namon niya tungod sang kamahal sang mga balaklon na bato lang namon bisan pila lang ang importante may kaon kami sa amon nga kabataan. Kisa aga pangayaw kami sa iban nga barangay para mag-ubra. Paagi sa training kag workshop sa Consuelo Foundation upod sang kidan kaisahan na realize ko namon nga may malain gali nga epekto sa pisikal sang kabataan, naganiwang sila, sila emosyonal, dasig sila maakig, sa mental, nang wala na sila sa pagtuon kay gakadulaan na sila gana kay kapoy, pati sa psychosocial nga pag nila daw nagig sila ya kay ang mga kasabayan nilang 15 anyos sila ya daw tigulang na sugod-subong kay nabalaan mo na nga hindi na sila obrahon sa kampo o kon sa syenda. Ako kagangakon ba na pangabudlay mayo kami sang nga palangitan-an kag para madugangan ang amon nga income para makabulig na sa amon nga pangadlaw-adlaw nga kinanlanon gaano gid kami para nga kami sang pangita kami duga nga extra income. Kag nagapasalamat kami sa sa Consuelo Foundation kag kidan kaisahan nga nadala kami sa livelihood, nakabulig sa amon. Kag umulan na, madamo niya salamat.
So ito na po yung end ng presentation namin. Maraming salamat po sa pakikinig. Adan Iwag po from Kidan Kaisa. Salamat.
Wow! Thank you very much, Sir Alan. So I think after our third talk, I'm sure all of us have a lot of things to think about. But before we unpack those ideas, we'll first take a short break. So see you guys in a bit.
Welcome back, everyone. Now let's proceed with our open forum. We encourage everyone to type in your question in our chat box so that our speakers can address them. So, tawagan na muli natin ang ating mga resource person, Mr. Jim, Miss Nor, and Sir Alan. Ayan, mukhang kompleto na tayo ulit, no? So, sige po. Our first question, ito po ay pwedeng sagutin ng kahit sino po sa ating mga resource person ngayon umaga. So, ang question po is, how do we ensure inclusivity of our FS programs and services vis-a-vis changing family structures and ideological differences. So example po niya no, yung religion, gender expression, social status, mga cultural differences po. Ayan. So sige po, sino po kaya ang pwedeng unang magbigay no ng kasagutan from our resource person? Sige po. Siguro, baka pwede muna din nating tawagan no, si Sir Jim from Cebu. Yan, syempre may mga different culture din no, sa Cebu City compared din dito sa ibang area natin sa NCR at sa Mindanao.
Yes po. Sinisuguro po natin no, and in every like for example in assessment of our programs, we always include what are the trends, ano yung mga bagong kailangan nating gawin. No, like for example, in our gender and sensitivity, we always highlight no yung mga ano po yung capacity ng each gender, And talking about also child protection, I think it's in the law. So it's always important to refer to this. And right now we are also encountering, like for example, LGBT parents. So during our family dynamic sessions, we let the participants made aware of the different forms of different types of families. So basically, um, from the service provider, sinisiguro po natin na updated po yung mga inputs as well as yung mga highlights ng mga discussion po natin. So so far po the our PSET sessions have addressed the what we call the changing yung mga bago or yung mga nagso-surface ng mga concerns, no, ideological differences, yung mga ganon. So I'm sorry if there is a need for me to specify. Just feel free to ask questions, no. But as far as our implementation of family strengthening programs concerned, no, we always find time to discuss, no, na to always give importance to update our programs, no, highlighting examples, topics that will be shared to our beneficiaries.
Ayun. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
Sir
sir.
Jim. So, yan. Actually, no, ganda nung sagot din, no, ni Sir Jim na dapat yung mga topics na binibigay natin, no, sa mga families natin ay yung naayon para sa lahat. So, sige po, baka may same experience si Sir si Miss Nor po at saka si Sir Alan, no, regarding dun sa nasagot ni Sir Jim po ng BTC.
Dito sa Olsofi, of course, medyo nung una, medyo mahirap talaga siya, especially sa mga implementers, no, mga social workers, na paano siya i-connect doon sa vision, especially ito ay religious institution. So even as talaga na natuto at nag-aral kung paano siya i-emerge sa konteksto ng vision mission ng Olsofi. So since na may mga talagang mga batas on that, so we respect na ating sundin yung mga laws na itinatag para sa pag-implement ng itong program. So sa Olsofi, hindi siya naging basihan upang magkaroon ng discrimination doon in terms of religion and gender. So yung preferences ng ating mga bata, especially yung target, no, yung we call the program Sagip Moral. So once na yung bata na sagip ng immorality, so yun yung banta nagkaroon ng mga ganong circumstances na namimiligro yung morals. So that's why yung program Sagip Moral. So based on, nakita natin may mga Muslim din na nasasagip, may iba-ibang mga religion. So tulad ng sabi ni Sir, talagang we respect yung preferences nila. Tapos we have to be careful on mga pagpili ng mga topic na talaga i-discuss na hindi masasagasaan yung kanilang mga preferences and also religion. So yun naman po ay very malinaw sa aming mga target beneficiaries. And then we live into example talaga. Tapos doon na lang, based on that, sila na yung magde-decision or sila na yung magsasabi na parang I want to join in this group talaga because na feel nila yung mission natin to care and to love by responsible adult like us.
Ayan. Thank you so much, Miss Nor. No? Ang highlight naman ng sagot ni Miss Nor, magkaroon ng deeper study, understanding bago natin ipatupad itong mga pag-implement ng ating FS session. So sige po, Sir Alan, okay naman po, baka may idadagdag pa kayo?
Yung ano lang siguro, baka iba yung setup ng rural at saka yung urban. No? Kasi kami were working in the urban area. So hindi siya masyado issue yung religion, yung gender. Yung pinaka-issue lang sa niya pinagtatrabuhan namin in terms of inclusivity, kasi yung decision making within the family. So kung tingnan mo, pag doon ka sa mga urban areas, yung lahat ng decision sa buong pamilya is only the matter of father. They do not consider the decision of the children. So within the Family Strengthening program ay tinuturuan yung family na makikinig sa mga bata at saka i-consider din yung suggestion, yung mga decision ng mga bata. Also, within the community, kasi yung mga bata na kung titingnan natin, lahat ng mga bata na nag-represent sa mga local structures ay coming from the group na medyo mataas-taas yung panindigan sa buhay. Pero yung mga bata na doon sa mga urban areas ay walang representation within the local structures, no? So yun yung trabaho ng KIDAN na sana magiging inclusive yung mga LGUs at saka family na pag vulnerable children ay pakikinggan din yung mga decision nila. So doon kami
Ayun. Thank you so much po, Sir Alan, no? Yung child participation. Yun ang isa sa pinakamahalaga. Go ahead, Sir Eric, for the second question.
Sige. Yung second question naman po, naka-address kay Sir Jim sa Bidliso po. Sabi po, Sir Jim, what tips and suggestions can you give for parents, caregivers, who wants to play a more active role in guiding children in need of special protection?
Okay, thank you. So, yung pinaka-important, no, in the very beginning is to be aware of the issue na kung ano yung face na issue ng isang pamilya. Secondly, I'd like to highlight yung na-share ni Kuya Roger kanina sa ating na-share na video na kailangan po nating ng mga pamilya na they need to look for opportunities to learn, no? Hindi na siguro sapat na learn from experience yung everything na gagawin nila, kundi yung inputs coming from the experiences of others, no, inputs coming from the professionals, no, is very important. And also changing of priorities. In most of our clienteles, the profile of the families are those poor families, no, yung priority talaga nila, kaya wala na silang oras, no, for their parents is just to look for money, no, every day in yung pinaka priority, and maybe the children can manage on their own, no? So nagso-surface po yung problem na to. So they need to acknowledge, also to treat issues as equally important na para maano yung mag-improve yung relationship, no, yung intrafamilial na mga dynamics, no, na sa pamilya. And yung na-share ko kanina, yung tinitreat natin yung parents as partner, no, hindi also enough na may mga interventions yung NGO, yung government. Kailangang ma-encourage po natin na maging aware din sila na they are the primary individuals na kailangang maging katuwang ng kanilang mga anak in achieving kung ano yung plans na or commitments na gustong i-achieve ng bata sa kanyang sarili. So basically motivating them as partners, no, different activities, different initiatives po yung ginagawa natin para ma-motivate tong mga parents natin. So basically yung sinabi ko nung una is be aware, no? Kailangan lang alam natin yung issue, and the parent should play an active role, no? Get active involvement in the process sa recovery and healing sa kanilang mga anak, no? So yun yung pinaka-importante po, no, na maging tip natin sa kanila. Let us become partners, no, together, no? Let us motivate our parents, no, to play their role as well.
Yes, thank you Sir Jim, no, napaka-importante nung minention ninyo. So sabi nyo nga, no, dapat yung mga parents natin, they're equipped with the right skills, paano nila papalakihin yung kanilang mga anak. And of course, they need to be we need to motivate them also, no, to play an active role sa pagpapalaki, sa i-guide yung kanilang mga anak. And I also like what you shared po, Sir Jim, when you mentioned, no, yung prioritize, 'di ba, yung needs ng families, 'di ba? They need to assess and prioritize. And yung pang-apat, acknowledge, no? So sobrang importante na they need to acknowledge kung ano yung issue and treat it the same, 'di ba? Kung ano man yung mga ibang bagay na kanilang pina-prioritize din. So, yun po, Miss Ren. So, what's our next question po?
Ayan. For question number 3, no, ito naman po ay para kay Miss Nor ng All Sophie. How do you encourage families to be more active in your church?
Challenging talaga para sa kanila na paano, considering na sila yung mga vulnerable families, no, na wherein talaga sa umpisa ay busy sa doing nothing. Ayan, yun po yung sinasabi natin joke. So busy sila sa kahig isang tuka para tumuka. So yun, yun yung mga background nila. Pero yun nga, paano nga, yung magandang question yun, ano ba yung naging challenge namin para sila ay ma-encourage to come to church. So hindi nga po siya ganun kabilis at hindi rin naman siya ganun kadali. So it's a journey of putting up this program, the Values Formation for Children, again, Tasagip Moral, yung initial na door na nag-open yung door para sa family na ito, na all the implementors talaga kailangan mag-live by example para ma-inspire sila towards doon sa ini-introduce mong formation, ini-introduce mong values and spiritual formation sa kanila. By that, our partners from academe and from other churches ay syempre yung the caring, the love, and yung while doing series of activities of Sagip Moral. So from that, nakikita nila yung kaano kahalaga yung bata, gaano sila kahalaga, gaano pinapahalaga yung kanilang mga anak. At doon unti-unti na nahuhubog yung gaano kaganda yung design na ginawa ng Diyos na pagpapahalaga sa bawat creation, especially children. So dahil doon, nagkakaroon ng kasabay ng formation sa mga magulang nila, at nakikita nila base sa mga basic services na binibigay din at binabahagi sa kanila. So it's a combination of basic services, at ito yung mga patunay also na hindi lang yun yung mahalaga, kundi yung paano sila pinapahalagahan bilang isang tao ng ating simbahan. So dahil doon dumadami yung participants nila, unti-unti ni-introduce na yung mga basic na gaano kahalaga yung pagsisimba kasama ang pamilya. So sinasabi namin sa mga bata, sa mga magulang na ang pagtuturo ng catechism sa bata ay mag-uumpisa talaga sa magulang. So paano namin ito papupuntahin sa simbahan at sabihin magsimba tuwing linggo? kung hindi mo ito papahalagahan na ang pagsisimba ay isang buong family talaga na makikita na doon na pumupunta sa simbahan. Based on that, nagtagumpay naman kami sa mga ganong mga gawain. Sa mga ganon. So,
Ayan.
nakikita namin also doon sa community na kung saan nagdadaos ng mga street masses yung ating mga pari at itong mga participants natin ang siyang pangunahing mga artista doon sa community na nakaka-encourage also some other families to come and join doon sa mass. So yung aming program ng Basic Ecclesial Community ay doon tinatalakay yung mga problema na bakit hindi sila nakaka-attend. It's a group work. It's a group session ng Basic Ecclesial Community. At doon tinatalakay ano naging problema. So hindi kumbaga hindi sila na parang natutuwa or enjoy sila sa family strengthening because natutugunan also yung problema na kanilang na-experience bakit hindi sila naka-attend. So natatalakay yun sa BEC.
Ayan. Thank you so much, Miss Nor, no?
Yeah.
Yun po, may pahabol po actually na question, no? Sabi po dito, given that you are working in a highly urbanized area where unmarried couples are common, how do you encourage them to get married?
Ayun. Tama po yun. Talagang kami din ay isa yun sa aming nakikita, no, na malaking problema kasi nga that's why. Pero doon sa mga nasagip nating family, so hindi kumbaga sa 35 years ay nasusugpo natin yung mga ganon na problema sa specific na hindi na nagpapahalaga sa kasal as sacrament, di ba? Pero nakakatuwa na doon yung ating mga sinagip at sila'y nagkaroon na rin ng family. Hindi mo na nakikita na nagkikipag common law, may mga common law husband na sila. So minsan may yung mga nakatawid at nakagraduate sa program. So talaga makikita natin na in fact ginagawa ka pang ninang ng kanilang sa pagpapakasal. So nakikita natin yung transition, no, na talagang sila nagpapakasal, nagpapahalaga sa kahalagahan ng kasal at ito na yung ibinumulat nila sa kanilang mga gagawing pamilya. So para naman doon sa mga hindi, yun yung sinasabi natin na patuloy ang foundation sasagip sa mga ganitong mga nakikita natin part ng vulnerable na tinutukoy ng simbahan sa ating mga parishioner na sila ay talagang i-introduce natin yung mga kahalagahan na ito ng sacrament. So sa tulong ninyo,
Ayan. Thank you so much, Miss Nornos. Yan, be a living testimony sa kanila to encourage them. Sige, Sir Eric.
Sige po. Yung ating next question po ay for Sir Alan. So, Sir Alan, yung question po is, what are essential approaches that you employ when communicating and guiding families who involve their children in risky working environments po?
Sagutin mo.
So, good morning ulit. So, yung lang siguro, yung ginagawa ng Kidan, kasi at the start of the project, yung with the families, the target families, ay gumagawa talaga ng situational analysis. Mm-hmm. Yung mga families mismo, sila yung nag-identify kung ano talaga yung sitwasyon ng mga kabataan sa areas nila. Sinusupplement din yun ng survey na kung saan pinipresent yun sa mga parents at saka sa barangay LGU. No? So within the situation, sila na mismo yung nagbibigay ng mga solusyon na yon na kung saan kung minsan makikita nila na ay in decision-making processes yung mga bata pala hindi po pakinggan. So sila na mismo yung maka-realize na at next time, ito yung gagawin natin. Dapat yung mga bata may representation sa mga local structures. Dapat yung mga bata within the families ay involved sa lahat ng mga decision-making processes. So parang ganun yung mangyayari. At the start, sila mismo yung nag-a-assess ng sitwasyon kung paano yung bata i-involve in the process.
Yun. Maraming salamat po, Sir Alan. No? So importante talaga yung involvement ng ating mga families and of course the children po. Sige, Miss Ren.
Ayun, Sir Eric. Actually, may follow-up no for Sir Alan.
Mhm.
What are the risks in reaching out families whose children are involved in child labor? Ayan.
Yung
So,
ay,
Opo. Go
yung
ahead,
ano
sir.
lang, yung mga ano lang, yung mga challenges lang to those families. Kasi kung minsan, pag nagkakandak ka ng mga awareness tracing regarding anti-child labor, yung dito kasi sa Negros, parang normal lang na yung bata
Mm.
ay nagtatrabaho, no? So, sa kanila, kasi nung bata pa kami, nagtatrabaho din kami. So, yung mga bata namin, dapat magtrabaho rin para matuto. Hindi nila hindi nila naintindihan na kung ano yung risk sa bata nila kung pinapatrabaho nila sa murang edad, no?
Mhm.
So, yung mga family mismo, yung acceptance na hindi yan child labor, child's work yan, na tinuturuan ng yung bata kung paano magtrabaho. Also within the community, ang hirap kasi mula noon pa ay parang normal na. So yun yung pinaka-challenge sa amin. Malaking awareness raising yung ginagawa. Pati yung mga barangay, nagagawa ng mga ordinance. Although na may national law tayo against child labor, pero hindi yan ma-implement sa mga liblib na lugar. So yung pinaka-challenge sa parents, sasabihin ng parents sa'yo, yung bata ko, hindi ko na patatrabuhin. Bigyan mo ba kami ng pagkain? So parang mga ganon. So pag hindi na maintindihan, yun yung isasagot. Pero pag maintindihan nila na ano yung epekto, kahit na nga yung ginagawa namin, kina-compare namin na yung bata mo, pag pinapatrabaho mo, ito lang yung kinikita niya everyday, 50 pesos a day. Pero pag eskwela mo yan, makahanap ng magandang trabaho, ito yung makikita ng bata mo na income for the next year. So parang ganon, parang change mo talaga yung frame of mind nila towards child labor. Na parang yun yung pinakamalaking challenge para sa amin kung paano siya unti-unti mabago yung pagtingin ng mga parents nila.
Yun. Thank you so much po, Sir Alan, no? Sige, Miss Ren.
Ayan, for our question number 5, no? Ito po, kahit sino po yung gustong maunang magsagot. So, ito po, in the time of pandemic, how do you keep your families safe and protected from COVID while implementing your activities? Ayan, siguro baka we can hear again, no, from, or baka may gusto pong mag-volunteer. Ayan, na magsalita. Ayan, si Ma'am Nor, I think nagtaas ng kamay. Go ahead, Miss Nor.
Ayan. So, damang-dama natin yung pandemic, no? Pero hindi ito nakahadlang para hindi natin ma-reach out yung ating mga children. So, through online session, tuloy-tuloy na isinagawa ng ating mga social workers yung session on values formation for children and family strengthening program for family strengthening session para sa mga parents nila. Even though the livelihood and the business management training ay naisagawa lahat yun. Pagdating naman sa emergency relief assistance, na kailangan na matugunan din also natin considering na ibang mga parents ay nawalan na ng work. So, iba na quarantine at ang iba naman ay ay talagang lockdown sa barangay nila. So, the emergency relief na tinulong ng ating parokya through our other partners also like Consuelo, the Caritas Manila, ay itong ating mga trained volunteers and community and frontliners na sila ay also protected by yung mga dapat na mga measures na para sila din ay maging protected ay ginawa naman ng Allsofi sa kanila. So sila yung nagdadala barangay per barangay ng mga ayuda ng simbahan para maihatid sa kanilang mga pamahayan. So ganun tumugon ang Allsofi para makita in vice versa ay protektado ang ating mga kabataan, ang ating mga seniors, ang ating mga PWDs, ang ating families as a whole, as well as our frontliners and mga parish volunteers.
Ayun. Thank you so much, Miss Nor, no? The frontliner of social services talaga. Sige po, from other organizations, Sir Alan and Sir Jean, baka may gusto pong i-add?
Bali yung sakidan talaga during the pandemic. Kasi yung dito, yung system for lockdown ay hindi ka makapunta sa isang munisipyo pag nanggaling ka sa ibang munisipyo. So, yung ginagawa lang, like for example in Morsha, where we implement the Family Strengthening Program, yung mga staff talaga na na-assign sa Morsha ay naka-lockdown for almost 6 months. Hindi sila pwedeng umuwi sa kanilang bahay kasi pag umuwi sila, hindi na dapat mag-go into quarantine sila ng 15 days. Tapos hindi na kami makapag-implement ng mga family strengthening activities namin sa barangay. So yung ginagawa talaga, yung commitment ng staff na hindi na kami uuwi, dito na lang. Tapos yung mga activities na ginagawa nila doon ay small group lang. Kasi pag taga-Morsha ka lang, isang bayan na kayo, pwede kayong makapunta sa mga barangay, pero dapat hindi ka mag-iipon ng more than 10 katao para sa mga activities mo. So, 5, 7 person lang sa mga activities na ginagawa namin sa family strengthening. At saka, ginagamit talaga namin yung Flipchart na katulong siya. Kasi for small group, yun yung ginagamit namin. So, lahat ng mga, during the pandemic, ini-insert din namin yung mga health protocol in partnership with the municipal DRR na kung ano yung pwedeng gawin to protect the families and children.
Ayun. Thank you so much po, Sir Alan. Sige po, si Sir Jim, okay, I think okay naman. Yan. Sige po, go ahead, Sir Jim.
Okay. I think yung the pandemic naka-disrupt talaga ng mga normal activities na ginagawa natin sa field, pero yun nga yung sinabi ni Ma'am Nor, hindi natin hinayaang maging hadlang yon para ma-deliver natin yung services natin sa ating clients. Yung pandemic also has become marang nag-pave way ng opportunity for all of us, I think all of us na maging creative sa paggawa ng pag-iba ng service delivery natin. So during the time of the pandemic, also it has also become an opportunity for our team sa family development work team natin na gumawa ng iba-ibang strategy. So during that time, we are able to make several audio video materials, naging record. So even up till now that we are allowed to do face-to-face, those materials are constantly are regularly used na po. It has become a medium na maging uniform yung inputs natin. So during that time, nag-iba din po tayo ng strategy, may online, at saka yung for those clients po natin na medyo mahirap yung reach ng signal, walang access for device. We have also developed a booklet na pwedeng maging reading material nila kung they are able, kung capable po or nakakabasa po sila. Kung wala po, we tap our community volunteers, yung volunteers na nasa within their area talaga, but and those booklets, they can read through it, and then later on our social workers will send some sheets of paper, that questionnaires that they can answer just to gauge the learning of our clients. So basically, depending on the situation of our clients, we can conduct online, we can utilize those videos, and those who have no access, those who have no devices and poor signal, they can those booklets. So para din po yung nangyari sa academic strategy natin na may module at saka online. So and different ways po na mga strategy or methods na nagawa natin. Yung before, meron kaming sa family bonding, meron kaming mga kite making activities outside, no? I think that was last year na online din po, no? May nangyaring parole making contest, no, na as a means of family bonding that hindi po necessary na ipatawag natin yung pamilya outside. They can do it within the family. And of course, I'd like to mention that the creation of our audio-video materials and booklets are also supported by Consuelo Foundation. So big thanks talaga na kahit hanggang ngayon we are able to use those materials. So it has also become quite an opportunity for us to upgrade or to improve our service delivery sa ating clients while while ensuring that they are safe and protected, no, against coronavirus. So yun lang po.
Thank you so much po, Sir Jin. So yung next question po natin, anyone po from the group can answer. But alam ko marami tayong ginawa, but please you can give at least one lang po na ginawa ng inyong organization. So yung question po natin is one of the most common reasons, no, why parents or caregivers are not able to participate in the FS program is because they are busy working and providing for their families. So now, how do you address these challenges or this challenge? So anyone po from the group?
So yung ano lang from yung
Sure po,
problema
sir.
yeah. Hindi sila participate kadalasan dito sa amin kasi almost all of the family members are working, no? Kasi maliliit ang sahod. So dapat magtatrabaho sila lahat para makapag-ipon ng malaking pera para sa pangangailangan. So yung ginagawa lang ng program namin para sa family strengthening ay doon kami sa mga oras na wala silang trabaho. Yung mga family strengthening activities ay kinakandak namin. Like for example, yung trabaho nila is morning until 10 o'clock and then 1 o'clock in the afternoon, babalik na sila. So yung mga family strengthening activities ay ginagawa namin during sa mga vacant time nila. Like for example, from 11 to 12:30. So doon ginagawa. Tapos ang sabi nga kanina ni Sir Jim na parang opportunity sa atin yung pandemic. Kasi doon lang kami nakasagawa ng activity. Ito yung tinatawag namin na Mandala Session as part of the family strengthening. Na yung buong pamilya ay nagtipon-tipon. Kasi yung asawa, yung nanay, hindi makapagtrabaho. So, pwede kami makakandak ng activity sa family na lahat sila andun. So, parang opportunity na nga yung pandemic, although na hindi siya masyadong maganda yung dulot niya sa family. Pero sa activity na ginagawa na kailangan yung buong pamilya mag-participate, ay nagawa namin during this time.
Yan. Thank you so much, Sir Alan. No? Yung dapat perfect timing talaga yung ating titignan din sa schedule ng ating mga participants. Sige, Miss Ren.
Ayan, sige po, no. Actually, nasagot din ni Sir Alan yung isang question dito, no, na paano natin include yung children sa family strengthening. So, sige, let's proceed na dun sa ating next question, no. How do we expand the reach of the current FS programs on the ground? Further moving forward, what's the next after the consortium? So sige po, ngayon no na nakita natin, narinig natin yung iba't ibang mga good practices. Sa palagay nyo po, ano pa yung pwede nating magawa? So this question po can be answered by any one of our resource person. Si Miss Nor, sige po, naka-mute po kayo, ma'am.
So nakikita ko na tungkol sa question na yan, nakikita ko yung as further yung challenges na haharapin natin for the continuation of family life strengthening. Pero based on the best practices na ating narinig at i-present ng ating in collaboration with other foundations and na nag-present today. So yun yung isa sa nakikita kong sandata para ma-adapt yung other best practice na pwede na akma dito sa aming ginagawa sa parish. So and vice versa ganun. So yun ang nakikita ko na for the continuation of the program. So we'll see other resources also na ibinababa sa parish na ang same layunin ay palakasin yung family sa pamamagitan ng dito nga sa deeply rooted faith natin sa Lord, sa God.
Ayan. Thank you so much, Miss Nor. Sige, Sir Eric, for our next question po.
Sige, for our next question po, for Sir Alan, no? So, what are the specific local legislations or ordinances institutionalized? What are the challenges in lobbying itong mga policies na to? And how do you get a buy-in both from the LGU and community? And also, do you have a draft of these ordinances that could be shared sa ating mga participants po? Sir Alan?
So, in terms sa buy-in ng LGU at saka ng community, sinasabi na namin kanina na yung unang step na ginagawa natin implementation of our Family Strengthening Program is, of course, to have a partnership with the local government unit in the community. So, una-una, ginagawa natin before the implementation ay nagmamapping muna tayo kung we're going to implement this program, ano talaga yung role ng LGU at saka ano ang role ng community. So, doon na pinag-usap-usapan kung ano ang role ng bawat isa in implementing the Family Strengthening Program. No? So in terms of the local legislation or ordinances, during those process, may mga activity talaga na tinitingnan yung sitwasyon ng kabataan sa isang barangay. So doon makikita kung ano yung mga issues affecting children. For example, sa mga legislation na yan, doon hinuhugot yan sa pag-conduct ng assessment sa barangay kung ano yung sitwasyon ng mga bata. Yung specific na mga legislation na nagawa na, yung una-una yung anti-sale ordinance kasi nakikita sa mga barangay na mostly of the children are involved in child labor. So sila na mismo yung nagde-decide na dapat may ordinance tayo para maibisan yung issue ng child labor. So, kung minsan yung ginagawa, may isang barangay kagawad na siya yung mag-sponsor to have an ordinance. Or kung minsan, nag-create ng committee to draft the anti-CL ordinance o ano bang ordinance na gusto nila i-create. Tapos ipipresent na yan sa council. Kung minsan, yung BCPC mismo ay naka-identify ng issues, tapos may mga legislation na gusto nilang i-pass with the sangguniang barangay, so sila na mismo naghahanap ng mga barangay officials o barangay kagawad na pwede mag-sponsor on the proposed ordinances. So like for example, kung nakikita nila maraming bata na involved in child labor, meron na kaming ordinance na ginagawa ng barangay on anti-CL. Meron na rin ordinance na ginagawa na yung pag-control ng mga computer shops. Kasi yung mga bata kung minsan nag-iskapo sa klase, pumunta sa mga computer shops to protect the children. So may mga ordinance na ginagawa ng ganyan. Tapos yung isa pa, yung Unified Case Management Protocol, kasi nakikita doon sa issue na pag ang bata ay may inaabuso, hindi malaman ng mga service provider kung saan dadalhin. Like for example, kung mangyari sa barangay, yung ginagawa, ini-interview ng bata, kung minsan nga sinisettle pa doon sa sangguniang barangay, kung minsan sa katarong pambarangay dinadala, na dapat hindi. So yung ginagawa with the service provider, the barangay, the NCPC, gumawa ng Unified Case Management Protocol na para alam ng lahat kung just in case may mangyari pang abuso ng bata, ito yung gagawin. Tapos yung case management protocol na yan ay ini-incorporate sa Municipal Child Welfare Code as part of the code na ng munisipyo.
Ayan, thank you so much, no, Sir Ala. Napakaganda nung sinabi niyo po, no. And ayun, I think, no, kasi ang nasabi po namin is 11:30 lang talaga tayo. Pwede po bang pa-thumbs up naman or pa-heart reaction dyan kung pwede tayong mag-extend ng kahit konti lang po, no? Ayan, may nakikita ko, may mga nagta-thumbs up, may nagka-heart reaction. Salamat po ng marami, no, sa pangunawa kasi napakaganda ng ating topic. So sige, Sir Eric.
Sige. So, thank you everyone for such a good discussion. And now, we've reached one of the highlights of our consortium. So, which honestly, I'm personally looking forward to this part also. So, to show also our appreciation for all the hard works, passion, and dedication of all our partners in implementing the FS programs, we would like to share with you what our partnership has achieved so far, over the years through the first ever State of the Family Strengthening Address or SOFA. So here to deliver the SOFA, we would like to call on Paolo Eugenio, Program Officer and one of our focal persons for the Family Strengthening Program.
Ayun. So welcome everyone. So we've prepared the State of the Family Strengthening Address because it was the first time we had all of our partners together with us, even if it was just online. Today we are joined by both our partners from the local government units and the nonprofit sector, not forgetting also our partners from the basic ecclesiastical communities. And both sectors have played a really important part in our story. Well, I'll share with you today when we implemented the Family Strengthening Program. So Consuelo Foundation, under our founder, Doña Consuelo Alger, has always believed that a safe and nurturing family is vital in protecting children from abuse, neglect, and exploitation, while helping them reach their full potential. We aim to achieve this by providing capacity building services for at-risk families. It was because of this need in Consuelo Foundation that we started the Healthy Start program in 1995. It assisted parents in caring for children ages 0 to 3 years old through counseling, medical care, and provision of milk and vitamins. This was done because it was a very crucial development stage for a child. But later on, Healthy Start faced many complex family issues. We decided to build on our program further to address children of all ages and provide interventions for at-risk families that are purposive and specific for their needs. These families are identified as at risk because of their vulnerability to issues like teenage pregnancy, unemployment, mental illness, domestic violence, and child exploitation, and many other risk factors. With this in mind, Healthy Start needed to grow. It needed to evolve. And from this need, the Healthy Start became the Family Strengthening Program. So this Family Strengthening Program really provided learning sessions for parents and caregivers on key topics on proper child care and protection. Specifically, it covered areas on children's rights, health and nutrition, child abuse, neglect, and exploitation, positive discipline and communication, family roles and relationships, and responsible parenthood. It also provided supplementary services such as referral to local government services for families, livelihood trainings, and the reporting of cane cases or child abuse, neglect, and exploitation. It was first implemented in partnership with our local government units in the following areas, such as San Jose de Buena Vista Antique, in Iloilo, Calauan, Laguna, and even in our Metro Manila partner cities, Malabon, Navotas, and Valenzuela. It is also worth noting that in our FS project in Iloilo, we also partnered with the Haro Archdiocesan Pastoral Secretariat, or JAPS, and their volunteers from the basic ecclesiastical communities. So, if you are all attendees from these communities in these LGUs and the BECs, may please have a heart emoji to share and acknowledge yourselves as one of our main pioneers in the FS implementation. I can see a lot of hearts there. And to build more on this story, with the help of our LGU partners, we are able to train health workers, daycare teachers, social workers, doctors, nurses, and even community volunteers to become FS facilitators and conduct the learning sessions for families in their local communities. It also served as the family development component of the Child Abuse Prevention and Intervention Network, or CAPIN, in the respective areas. Lastly, our partnership with the LG was even more meaningful and impactful when it became part of their local programs in social welfare and health. Our family grew even bigger when we invited NGO partners into the fold. We introduced them to our materials, tools, and processes, and they in turn infused it with their own family development programs. Just like any family member, each partner differed and excelled in many ways. Some worked with families in street situations, while some worked with families who have been exploited or involved in criminal activities. Some have empowered families to address their own needs by partnering them with various local government offices, and some would provide livelihood and entrepreneurship training so that they can be more financially independent. Some would use basic family therapy approaches, and some would build resiliency through spiritual values. For our NGO partners, may I please ask you to show us your heart emojis too, so that you may be acknowledged for showing FS and how it can adapt and innovate to the needs of the children and the families you support. Yeah. And together, as one consortium, since the inception of the FS program, we're proud to share that together, we have supported roughly over 3,600 families. And through our partnership, we have provided the following services and programs. Starting with the family strengthening sessions that we conduct for parents and caregivers. We also train FS facilitators and implementors. We develop modules and IC materials like the manuals and the flip charts we see today. We also provide calamity relief operations from both natural disasters and COVID-19, such as the groceries and livelihood support. And referral to government programs and services. And we also became a platform for cases of violence against women and children. And lastly, we really help fund the livelihood training programs and capital assistance provided for families who want to start their own business so that they can be financially reliant on themselves. So it has been quite a journey for the Family Strengthening Program. And I want you all to know that all our milestones, all our accomplishments would not have been possible without your commitment, without your passion, without your perseverance. And as we look into the future, we look to even see more of the programs grow and help even more families. We also aim to continue developing and improving our tools and materials so that we can help you deliver more effective programs. So every time you conduct a session, every time you visit a house, or work with the families, I want you to know and acknowledge that you are part of a much bigger program. You are part of FS Consortium of Consuelo Foundation. Again, with that, maraming salamat, thank you, and mahalo.
Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation, Sir Pao. No? Grabe, ipalakpakan naman natin yung mga sarili natin. Good job po tayong lahat. No? So, sobrang nakaka-inspire po na makita kung gaano nakalayo ang narating natin sa Family Strengthening Program. At kasama namin kayo, no, ang mga partner organizations na present today. We are hoping that we will touch more lives as we keep on working for a better tomorrow for every single Filipino family. We would like also to congratulate po ang ating winner sa ating trivia game. Palakpakan naman natin si Miss Vivian Trosho of Claffy. Yan. So our team will keep in touch with you po kung paano nyo makiklaim ang ating prize. And on that note, Dito na po natatapos ang day 1 ng ating consortium. I hope ang ating mga puso ay sabay-sabay na nagse-celebrate ngayon sa pagkakaisa natin, no, na marami pa tayong pamilyang Pilipino na matutulungan. Ayan, nakamute po ang aking partner.
I'm so sorry, Ren. So, and also, no, we also look forward to having all of you back with us tomorrow. So, yes, meron pa tayong day 2 ng consortium wherein we will have an orientation on our enhanced FS materials as well as tips on facilitating a family strengthening session. So, abangan natin yan lahat tomorrow.
Once again, this has been Ren
and Eric.
Thank you for joining us today and see you all tomorrow.